Welcome to this segment, Accessibility, Providing Alternative Activities, Word Search Puzzles. In the video segment which follows, we'll explore creating a word search puzzle example. We'll use a resource from a2zteacherstuff.com. In this video, we'll explore using the term definition file, generating the puzzle, creating the Word.docx version, and checking accessibility. In this segment, let's explore creating a word search puzzle that is not only compliant with accessibility standards, but is truly usable. So we've got our tab-delimited term definition files here, and I'm going to open up this variant. Here it is in Notepad, and press Control-A and Control-C to copy all of that. And then I've got a blank Excel workbook open. I'll maximize it and let's paste that in. And that does a marvelous job because of the tab delimited aspect of it, separating our terms from our definitions. And we've got 15 here. And so let's go ahead and highlight those. We'll copy them in a minute. We've got the terms highlighted. And let's explore a site I've found particularly useful. There's a lot of good tools and sites for creating word searches. This one is A to Z Teacher Stuff. And one thing I particularly like about this tool is some of the options it gives us that helps us to build a more reusable puzzle. So, or more usable, I should say. Let me reset this and let's build it from scratch. So I'm going to name this Instructional Technology and Media. And then let me give you a peek at what I'm doing here. I've got our highlighted words. I'm going to hit Control-C and grab a copy of them out of Excel and paste them in here. And at this point, there's 15 words, so a 15 by 15 puzzle seems like it ought to be adequate. And I can go ahead and create that puzzle. And it creates it in HTML, but using tables. So I can copy and paste this, and it'll be nicely laid out in a Word document. And that's fine as far as it goes. But consider for a moment that when that's in a table and someone with a visual perceptual difference needs to go searching, not only are they going to, have to scroll and move through the individual letters going across, and they'll be using a tab in a word table, but they'll have to explore down and diagonals and also keep a running letter list in their head, because words can be reversed as well as forward by default. And so at some point, rather than just making a puzzle that a sighted learner would be able to use the scanning to help reinforce their learning, at some point we're just making a lot of misery and unnecessary work that doesn't add anything to our instruction. So why don't we consider, if we want to make it, we can make an alternate version that's extra usable if we don't want to make it too simple for sighted users. But we could come in here and say, okay, first of all, let's only have forward words, and then let's just eliminate diagonal words altogether. And you could consider, depending on the number of terms and your particular teaching philosophy, what you're trying to achieve, whether or not you want up or down words. I'm going to go ahead and leave the up and down words in there for now and create the puzzle again. And now we've got only forward words that are going to be true on the horizontal or vertical. And other than that, the puzzle is essentially the same as far as the terms by the sideline. Same 15 terms are listed there. Okay, so now, unfortunately, this particular tool creates in HTML by default, but that's actually not going to be any barrier because it's nicely laid this out as a table. So let's bring up a empty Word document, and I'll show you how I would like to lay this out. All right, so I have a template, having done this before, that I would like to use. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab the boilerplate text off my template in another Word document. Let me give you a peek at that so you see what I'm doing. So here's a Word document that has a sample activity, and I can paste that in and then edit it as needed. So if I decided I am not going to have diagonal or reversed words, but I'm going to have vertical and horizontal words, now my instructions are all laid out real nicely. And I need to grab the puzzle grid now. So let's come back to the puzzle we just created, and I'm going to copy just the table with the puzzle grid. Control C and come back to my Word document. And paste that in. Oops. Somehow managed to miss the table. Let's try that again. Here, I'll just grab the whole thing. And paste that in there. Now I've got the table. And I'm going to delete the terms for the time being. And I'm going to take this, let's see, I think we got a extra row, extra column hidden here at the end. So I'm going to highlight it, right click, and just delete that column. And that line at the right hand side is because it's a border. So I'm going to change it to no borders. Great. Okay, so I've got my instructions and I've got my puzzle grid. And in my instructions, I've given the learner a lot of latitude about how they want to mark the text, so they can make it different colors if they are cited. If they are not, they can use, if they have perceptual differences, they can use whatever method as long as it makes it distinct, so the instructor can determine that it's distinct. They can use any method they like. Change the font, underline it, bold it. Again, I leave that to the learner so that they can do what's most flexible for their learning style. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hop down to, again, my sample document, my boilerplate, and I'm going to grab that header, definitions table. And so I'm making kind of a double puzzle here. And you could certainly eliminate the definitions table and just have the students solve for the terms. I like to have the students, find the term and then match it with the table in the definition. Okay, and so let's hop back to our Excel file that we loaded that into, and let's grab both the term and the definition, and Control V to paste it. And I'm going to take this table and I'm going to add all the borders, and I'm going to insert a row above and say this is term and this is definition. And let's see, let's lay that out so it's the heading. Nice. Okay, now notice that I've got all my terms in here, so this is actually the instructor's solution sheet, so we can file, save as, and call it whatever you want to call it. word search demo instructor solution. There we go. And then all I need do to make it into the student worksheet is highlight the terms and delete them. I might just take this column, make it a little bit wider, a little friendlier that way, and then say File, Save As, and I'll change it from Instructor Solution to Student Worksheet. And there we go. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's just check the accessibility as a Word file. And the one thing it is telling us is we need to check the reading order of the tables. And I do see that I've inadvertently left an extra table in there. So let's take that table and delete it. I only intend to have 2 tables. Oh, I got another one hanging out there. I'm looking to delete the, oh, let's delete the entire table. There we go. Up, grab too much. Control Z to undo. Tables can sometimes be a little tricky. See if we make it, put some text in there if it's easier to grab. Table, table, table. Oh, those are the same table. Okay, I don't know why it's reporting it as 3 tables. See if we make that, yeah, that's all the same table. Yeah, that's all the same table. Let's stop and rerun our accessibility checker and see if that shows only 2 tables now. Nope, still seeing a 3rd table. And I don't know why it's seeing that. There may be a table within a table there. Control Z to undo that. We really don't want a table within a table. Let's see if I can just cut that table. And it's still seeing a table within a table. Somewhere we've got it wrapped up. All right, I'm not going to fight that for now, but within the tables, the only thing it's warning us about is the reading order, and we can check the reading order right quick by using the tab key and the arrow key to see that it goes up and it goes down and it tabs across nicely. And so that should be usable to students using a screen reader. And there's our worksheet, and we're ready to go. Thank you for viewing this activity.